You're listening to Little Green Cheese, episode 97. Well, welcome back, Curd Nerds. I'm Gavin Weber, and this podcast is where you can learn about cheese making at home. We have a special guest today, and it is Tutu Saad. Let me introduce him to you and all of the amazing things that he has been able to do in Bangladesh and become an artisan cheesemaker. So let me just introduce Tutu, our next guest. Tutu is from Bangladesh, and he started his own artisan cheesemaking country to, a bit like John, and to fulfill a niche that was there. He told me we've had a previous chat in the test that he is one of the very few cheesemakers in Bangladesh that makes hard cheeses with rennet. It's something that they don't do in the Indian subcontinent. So let's bring in Tutu. So your name is
Tutu Saad Ullah, but
that's
for
you.
short, Tutu Saad.
All right, Saad. It's not
Yes.
sad. It's Saad.
No, Saad.
So you're not a sad person. You're a happy person.
Thank you, Gavin.
Fantastic.
It's a relief that it got connected.
Yes, indeed. Now, mate, you started off by making your own cheese at home, right?
Yes. I just started as a hobby
Yeah.
about 5 years back, but word of mouth, it spread.
Yeah.
You know, I tried my first cheese. It was I got from somewhere, a recipe, which was an old Amish recipe.
All right. Yeah.
With yogurt.
Right. Yes.
That was the yogurt
As the culture.
Amish as a culture.
Yeah.
So I tried it. I didn't have anything. My daughter lives in England. He sent me a small bottle of rennet, most probably from Amazon.
Right.
And that's what I used. I didn't have anything.
Right.
So I made the mold with a round mold. I perforated it, everything. In Bangladesh, most probably, I'm the first person who actually tried making European-style hard cheeses.
Oh, mate, that's fantastic. And you've persisted all the way through, and now you actually sell them on your Facebook page as well.
It's a journey with failure and successes.
Yeah.
There were times when I was absolutely, I didn't know what to do. But it's such an engrossing hobby.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a passion. It's such a passionate thing that I couldn't leave it.
Yes. Yeah.
So
once you're bitten, you can't stop, right?
Yeah, it's simply you can't stop. Now I don't know what to do. It has. I never wanted to go into a business, but I'm forced to. I have around 5,000. My Facebook, they're not always, but about 300 to 400 regularly, pestering me if
Right.
I'm
Where's
not the
the
right word
cheese?
for it. So this is how the whole thing started.
Mate, that's
Initially,
fantastic.
I started with 4 liters of milk. Now I use around 100 liters.
Mate, that's
And
fantastic.
and the vats and everything I have designed myself. I must tell you, I'm basically I'm an industrial designer, product designer.
Right. Yeah.
Actually, my profession is making hardwood floors in Bangladesh. I'm the CEO of a company
Yeah.
where I make wooden hardwood floors.
Right. So do you make cheese full time now? Have you given up the hardwood floor business?
No. That's my bread and butter, hardwood
Right.
floor. But the artisan cheese, I usually make. I Most of the time I follow you.
Oh,
You are my,
right.
you are my, you are my cheese guru. Let's be frank about it. There's not.
A
Though
few
I have
people have said that today, apparently.
no. Actually, I have in my Facebook about 2 years back. I think there was a post. I uh, showed you a picture and said that this is my guru, my cheese guru. If you go back, you'll find it.
Mate, thank you
Anyway,
so much.
anyway, your instructions are so methodical,
Yeah,
and any layman can follow it up, provided he has little
yeah,
gray matter over here. It's not difficult. But there are times when I have failed, the thing
yeah.
didn't work. So I wanted to find out what actually went wrong.
Mm,
Then, after again trial and error, I
yeah,
could perfect it. In my whatever I do, I usually try to go up to the end
yeah,
until I'm satisfied. Until I reach the perfection. You
yeah,
can say it like
exactly.
that.
Yeah, yeah. So what made you go from making your own cheese at home to making artisan batches of cheese and selling them? Was there
uh,
something that you wanted to strive for something better?
No, actually, how it happened, I don't know. It was a absolutely home cheese making.
Yeah,
My office was next door, so I moved it to my next room to my office where I used to sit. So
yeah,
on that desk, I started making, and from 4 liters, it went to 12 liters, then 20 liters, then 30 liters. And with two pots of 12 liters of, I was looking for uh, the large kind of pots,
yeah.
which was also not available in Bangladesh. So
Yeah.
I fabricated one.
Right.
I got hold of someone, and I made it. The first pot was around 35 to 40 liters, and that also I couldn't manage as the demand started increasing.
Increasing. Yeah.
I made another round vat with stainless steel, the food grade stainless steel,
Yeah.
and I could manage with 100 liters at a time.
Yeah.
So it became about twice a week, both soft and hard cheeses.
Oh, mate, that's fantastic. So does the pots that you fabricated, the 100 litre one, does that have a water jacket or how do you heat it?
I get it heated. I usually I have designed like you have. You have a double pot. The
Yeah.
steam thing.
Yeah.
It's a shallow thing, and I have this induction heater, the induction thing, and
Yeah.
which heats up the water underneath, and that actually heats the milk.
Oh, mate, that's
And
fantastic. And you've got precise temperature control, right?
yes, I have managed to get, when I go abroad or when someone comes, they bring it for me. The milk thermometer and things like that.
All right. Okay. No, that's
So
fantastic. Well done, mate. So, as far as somebody asked the question in the chat, and I'll just put it on the screen, it says, Mr. Tutu, do you use buffalo milk or cow's
no,
milk?
I use cow's milk because I can't get buffalo milk in Dhaka, in the capital. I'm actually based in capital.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's a
Yeah.
big city.
Yes.
So
Yes.
the dairy industry has picked up, in last 7 to 10 years. That
Right.
was not such a dairy industry. Now, a lot of fast food shops have sprung up, and for the demand of mozzarella and the American processed cheese,
Cheese. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
the sliced one, they usually used to get it from your country,
Right. They
from
get it from
Australia.
Australia.
From Vega, I think it's a company which usually sells those sliced cheeses here.
Yeah.
Uh, Anyway, so there are just uh, four or five enterprises. They usually are making these two kind of cheeses like mozzarella and
Yeah.
the soft processed cheese. But I'm the only one who is doing this, from hard cheeses, from cheddar to, Dutch cheeses and Swiss cheeses,
Yeah.
Italian cheeses, and, in soft cheeses like feta and halloumi and
Yeah.
ricotta, these things.
Yeah.
You must understand, in this subcontinent, though the Portuguese introduced this 400 years back, the
Yeah.
cheese making, it didn't survive. There is one particular place in Bangladesh, northern part of the capital. They make this indigenous round kind of in a wicker basket, in a
Yeah.
bamboo basket.
Yep.
It's a soft cheese like hard feta,
Right.
and they kind of make three holes and insert uh, salt,
Right.
just not sea salt, just normal salt.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the shelf life is around uh, 2 weeks maximum.
Right.
That
And
was the only cheese.
then it goes
That's the
moldy.
only cheese that was.
Right. So
And it gets slimy and moldy,
yeah.
and not it loses its freshness.
So how difficult is it to get your hands on rennet? I was talking while you were getting the technical issues sorted out that because of religious issues, getting your hands on rennet is a difficult thing in Bangladesh. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
In Bangladesh, we do slaughter
Right.
cows.
So you can get rennet there.
It's a Muslim country. That's
Right.
why. But
Right.
in India and other places where the religious thing is involved, and most probably, I don't want to go into that,
No. No.
but
Sure. Sure.
in Amazon also, Amazon they have opened a and they can't. They also don't import rennet.
Right.
So recently, what I heard that they're selling a vegetable rennet, not
Right.
the animal rennet.
Perfect.
But
That's exactly
but
what I use.
yes, that's right. And now because of these demand for mozzarella, some suppliers have come up in Dhaka. Then they not too many companies. Jar Hansen is one
Yeah.
that they bring in those already prepacked small sachets for cheese making. The one gentleman is very kind enough to get some of the both mesophilic and thermophilic culture for me. So
Right.
that's one. That's the locally I get.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I go abroad or I ask once upon a time I used to be a pilot,
Yeah.
and I ask my friends and others if they can hand carry something for me.
Right.
Usually, mostly I get my cheese cultures and enzymes and things from England. There's a
Right.
company called Goat Nutrition, I think.
Oh, right.
Uh,
Yes, I've heard of them.
so,
Yeah.
so they're my regular
So they're
supplier.
your
But
suppliers.
yeah, so I can't get it through customs. It has to be hand carried
Yeah.
because in the airport it gets stuck for a month or 2 months or so because of various checks, and it's not a regular item, imported item.
Right.
So that's why that's it.
So if you do try and get it through customs, it just sits there and goes bad.
Airport track.
Right. So, mate,
So,
I feel
so,
for you trying to get those cultures. Goodness me.
uh, but the quantity I'm making, it's all right for about 6 months. It's okay. Shelf life is around 2 years,
Yes.
so I stuff them in my deep freeze, and that's how.
Yeah.
And as the volume increased, I have used my knowledge and my what do you call it, my technical know-how to.
Yes.
It is. Like now, I don't have the like the artisan cheesemakers have. The cheesecakes like
Yeah. Yep.
small
Like the big
converted
room. The
a
rooms.
fridge.
Yeah.
No, not the room. I mean the fridge.
Yeah.
And the fridge, convert the fridge with an external thermostat.
Right.
So
Yep.
it just struck me, if it can be done with an external thermometer, why can't do it with a large size, deep freezer,
Yeah.
chest freeze,
Well, yeah,
about
you can.
400.
Yeah.
400. I did that. So I'm having three large deep freezers now with your temperature control. And I actually don't need, initially I thought I'll be needing it,
Yeah.
but I don't need any uh, too, so far the moisture is concerned. I mean, it normally is around 85 to 95, so I don't have to bother
Oh,
about it.
humidity. Right. Yes.
Humidity.
Right.
And for the temperature, I just use an external. The probe goes in, and I
Yeah.
can set it for 45 to 55.
Yeah. Oh,
That's how
fantastic. And it stays.
that's how I'm managing.
Yeah, and it stays at the
Like
right temperature for
like
you. And yeah, that's fantastic, mate.
like.
But
Sorry. Yeah.
no,
Go
no, no,
ahead.
no. Keep going.
No, like Stephen Cook, he wrote to me, I said, Tutu, you have done enough experiments. Why don't you get a proper cheesecake? Uh, and I wanted to do it, but
Yeah.
couldn't get anything, Uh, so I have already ordered an American thing which can be attached to a window type air cooler or something like that. It's
Yeah.
called Cool Bot, I think. It's
Right.
a cool bot, and that can give me the correct temperature.
So you will
So far,
then,
then
so you'll then manufacture a room, insulated room,
it
and then
is
you
a
and use
room.
the CoolBot, yeah, and use the
Yes, cool
CoolBot
bot.
thing to cool the room, yeah?
That's what I'm thinking now. But
Yeah.
at my age, I'm already 78.
Yeah.
I I don't know whether I have little hesitations about it.
Yes, I
I'd like
suppose
to.
I suppose you
I'd like
may.
to. I'd like to teach, the young generation so that they can, because it's a tremendous opportunities there, and the milk is there, and why not?
Yeah, exactly. Have you got anybody that's interested in you teaching them how to make
When
artisan cheese?
in my Facebook page, I said I had many requests that count me in, I'm coming in. So I haven't still decided when and where. I need a place. To be
Yeah,
very honest, I need a place. It can't be done in my house or. So I don't exactly have a factory,
yeah,
but I have rented out a space near my residence
mm,
where I have three rooms.
yeah,
Uh, uh,
and that
Good
works for you, yeah?
space.
That works for
That
you,
works
yeah,
for me.
yeah,
So with the quantity I'm making, it's all right.
yeah, cool. So are you making a profit at the moment or breaking even?
No, it's not even break even. No,
So it's
because
just a
I'm buying
passion
the,
at the moment.
yes, passion at the moment.
Yeah,
The thing is the milk I buy in Dhaka, in the capital city, is three times the price than what is available in the rural area,
yeah,
where the farms have, say, to give you an example in numerical figure, if that is 30 taka, that's a, taka is the Bangladeshi currency name.
right,
If
yep.
that is 30 taka in a village, and with transport and everything, when it comes to Dhaka, it is 90 taka, three
Goodness me.
times.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and all they do, it's not even pasteurized.
So it's still
It's
raw
just
milk.
raw milk, but they do bring it in 4 degrees centigrade so that it is fresh for about 2 3 days. They
Yeah,
usually give it for making sweets in
yeah,
Bangladesh and India also.
yeah,
The sweet is a after dinner or after meal. The sweet is a variation like a dessert. This is
right.
most probably when the English were here, they
Yeah,
introduced it. They introduced it like the Portuguese taught these know-how. I mean, gave the know-how how to make it with
yeah,
rennet, but
yeah.
it didn't survive with the rennet.
All
They
right.
went back to the acid coagulation, separation.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
used to make the thing. You'll know the Indian paneer. It's a
Yes,
very
paneer.
big
Yeah,
business.
yeah,
Paneer they use the acid coagulation.
Yeah. So
like
lemon juice or vinegar or something
lemon
like
juice or white vinegar.
that. Yeah.
White vinegar and with little pressure. And that is a cheese, soft cheese, that can be fried, and it
Yeah.
can be put in Indian cuisines like in lentils
Yeah.
with spinach and Indian paneer. They
And
call
they
it
can eat it sweet
paneer.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a different thing. Like
Oh,
they coagulate it, but don't add salt in it.
right.
So they make uh, uh, they add sugar to it, and they make different types of like the bocconcini style.
Oh, right. Yeah.
They make balls and they boil it in syrup, boiling syrup,
Oh, sugar syrup.
sugar syrup,
Yeah.
and it puffs up, and that's called rasagulla.
Oh,
That's one of
right.
the very, that's a very, very popular, like if you give a search, what is a rasagulla, you'll find it most probably in
That's
internet also.
fantastic.
So when the British were here, and the viceroys, their wives and others, they became a big patrons for this sweet thing. There
Yeah.
is one sweet called a Kinney, Lady Kinney. It's
Right.
but it was from the name of Lord Canning.
Right.
He was a viceroy in India. His wife, Lady Canning, the name got distorted and things like that,
Yeah.
and it became Lady Kenny. It's a very popular sweet in Calcutta.
Oh, right.
So, so this is how things have evolved. So far, the cheese and curds have it's there, but not in the
Yeah.
proper way of
So,
making with rennet.
so who are most of your customers? If you're making the harder style cheeses and it's not really part of the culture, who are your customers? Are they expats from other countries or
Expats and those who have gone abroad, and the higher echelon elite class,
right?
the richer area of and the neighborhood, they are the
Yeah.
only customer.
Yeah, because they wouldn't be
And
able to
I
import much to
no, they,
Bangladesh,
they,
would they?
they do import, but these are all stale, and 3 or 4 times it has been frozen and
Oh,
defrosted and frozen and defrosted.
yeah,
The people tell me, that two tastes are completely different.
yeah,
Commercial cheese, which you get in the supermarkets, they have so many additives to it, like the shelf life, to extend the shelf life and things like that.
yeah,
But we are cheesemakers. We just take enzymes and
yeah,
not much, just
yeah,
to either the low grade culture like mesophilic, or if you raise the temperature. It all depends what kind of chicken.
yeah. Of
So
course, of course.
it dawned on me, that if people in African continent can make cheeses like very much like in a war zones like Congo and other places,
Yeah,
if they can make cheeses there, why can't we do it here? It's
yeah,
not a.
exactly.
So they are making some kind of, it's a most probably a German priest who actually started it,
Yeah,
sometimes in
yeah,
early 70s, and it is still going on. And the gentleman who actually makes it is like something like mild uh, Gouda, Gouda.
right.
How
Yeah,
how do you pronounce it?
hold up. Yeah, that's the one.
Howda, howda. So if I can, at my age, I can do it,
Yeah.
why young generation can't do it? It's
Well,
a tremendous.
they've got to have the interest, of course. I'm sure that you'll be able to find somebody soon because it's a great business opportunity too. If you're one of the very few that are making those harder style cheeses in your country, and there's a demand for it, I tell you
Yes,
what, if somebody can make it to scale, then yeah, you'll make they'll make a business that's successful and profitable, and you can be their guru, mate.
There are subjects are being taught in
Yeah.
agricultural university. A month back, one professor from one of the agricultural university contacted me, and he was amazed that why nobody knows that there is a guy like me who is making it. So he was interested. But he also teaches in his classroom, but he can't motivate anybody to get into the actual cheese making thing or
Yeah.
make a project or that how a small cheese making thing. It has to start sometime.
That's
So
right. You've
nobody
got to.
has done it. It has done. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, mate, that you're still teaching for a few years yet, and you manage to find somebody who's passionate and will take up the baton and start, work with you to make, to learn to make cheese.
Yes, that's my desire, and that's my. But whether my health will permit, I don't know.
We'll
I'm
see, mate.
already my. I told you about my the voice is also sounding funny to me. It's
Yeah,
all choked up and everything.
mate. I hope you get
Anyway,
over that.
I yes, I'll
But
get
I
over
can,
it.
yeah,
Don't worry about it. I've made like the vat, the Dutch press kind of thing. I
yeah,
initially made a small thing with a wooden stick and things like that. I have a stainless steel structure where it
press, yeah,
can
yep.
press large size around 12-inch dia, two cheeses at a time.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I have set up the thing in my own way,
So,
but
yeah,
it does like I don't know because the expat community they usually ask me that if you are like if Dutch community
yeah,
they have they say that we have Buddha with cumin seed. Why don't you give it a try? So I made
yeah.
it with the
There you go.
cumin seed, and they said it's fantastic.
And they
I
loved
have
it.
they loved it. So
Yeah,
like uh, camembert and brie, like I tried the brie with about that 12 inches dia, and
yeah,
I when I cut it into a wedge, and I couldn't pack it because it
yeah,
was all oozing out.
yeah,
So
yeah,
later
yeah,
on, I thought of making a mini camembert, mini brie, about 4 inches dia. I'm using the same mold now to
yeah.
make both brie and camembert.
Oh, that's fantastic. So, and the smaller now versions of the mold cheese, they are turning out better and not as runny, and that you can actually get them to
No,
market.
yes, yes.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I have developed I have started my own delivery thing. It's only based in Dhaka,
Yeah,
not outside the capital, and it's a cool chain. Whoever takes whenever my chappies make the delivery, they
yeah.
take it in a cool box because in Bangladesh temperature
It's
is
hot.
quite high.
Yeah,
It's hot. It's not good for cheese. And I usually tell people, those who are trying new have never. There is another thing. The Bangladeshi palate has to change
yeah,
because they know that with curd, it's the taste only sweet, but it can be salty taste also,
mm.
or a little bit of moldy, or some green, blue streaks in it, and
Yeah,
they will
yeah.
just throw it away.
Because
They'll
they don't
just throw
know.
it
Yeah,
away.
because they don't have that cheese, that sort of cheese culture, and
Yes.
that only comes to with education, as you know.
Yeah.
So, um, and it's a long road to educate people to try new things, But
You're right.
yeah, hopefully you'll manage to do that, and I suppose it'll be through the expats that are buying your cheese will then tell others that, and it'll all be word of mouth. You know what I mean?
They do. They do.
Yeah,
They do, and that's how my the there are that like there's an American club, there's a Dutch club, there's a Norwegian club. They do order that. I got a order whether I would be able to make Jarlsberg for them or not. I said
all
that
right.
Swiss and Jarlsberg or Macedam are almost a kind of same thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I just did it And it worked. And they said, "Oh, who taught you?" I said, "Well, uh, I, I guess there are few places, including you,
Yeah.
you know,
Thank you.
that has helped me." Now, actually, it's not trying to flatter somebody or it.
No, no, no.
It's a data.
It is. Look, even though I make the videos myself, they're a useful tool. Like I've even gone back
Yes,
and
it
used
is.
I've used my
Yeah.
own videos to make cheese that I've forgotten how to. So, it's going to help me as I get older as well.
Yes. But if your videos are so, your, how shall I put it? It's so easy to follow,
Yeah.
so simple.
I
There are
make them simple.
other YouTube videos as well. It's a bit lengthy. Or your one is the correct time, say maximum 12, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it runs a little. But once you get hooked in making cheese, then I'm watching these programs. Say I just missed one hour in the morning. You
Yeah.
started around 4 hour time in the
Mate, I tell
morning.
you what, you're dedicated watching the stream that long today.
I mean, off and on, I'm following you from 5 in the morning. So
Goodness
I,
me.
so I saw uh, three interviews. Ruth,
Yeah.
prior to that, there is another,
Yeah.
and later on
Patricia.
again, I dozed off for a little while. Again, woke up and I didn't know what to do.
Oh, mate, that's fantastic. So, besides the challenges of getting starter cultures and rennet supplies in Bangladesh, what are some of the other challenges that you have trying to ramp up production to meet demand that you have?
To get a right kind of milk.
Right. Yep.
That's the main thing I have. Uh, once I got about 100 liters of milk, and it was contaminated with E. coli.
I
All
had
the
E.
curds,
coli.
E. coli, all
Yeah.
floated up.
Oh,
So I took the sample to one of these labs and said that, "Could you tell me what's the problem here?" They said it's E. coli. And
mm,
I searched the internet. What happens if you have E. coli in the milk? And I found out it is with the silage that
yeah.
they feed the fodder and the things that there is nobody will, there is no pastures, so the cows are all, the cattle are all in a shed,
All
and
right.
they are given with the dry grass and other,
And fermented grass as
the
well.
fermented
Yeah.
grass and things like that. And with that, you don't get good milk.
No,
The
you get and
my
you get
milk
early blown
supplier,
milk too.
yeah, my
Yeah.
milk supplier, he has about 10 Jersey cows, and he mixes all Frisian and Jersey, he mixes all together. So I said, "Please, for heaven's sake, keep some separate for me because it has a much higher, protein and
And fat
fat
content.
content
Yeah.
that yields better cheddar.
Mm.
I can do proper cheddaring with it.
Yeah.
So if I do it 2 hours of cheddaring, and later on, when it dries and it's fantastic cheese.
Yeah. Yeah. So with the raw milk you get, if there was some E. coli contamination, do you now pasteurize low
I
temperature
don't
long holds?
I don't pasteurize the hard cheeses
Right.
because as they say
Because
that
you long age them.
in long age the good bacteria only survive
Yeah.
and the bad ones they die off. I only pasteurize. I also do the pasteurization myself. That simple
Yeah.
thing. The 62
Yeah. Low temperature
centigrade.
long hold.
Just
Yeah.
hold it for half an hour,
Yeah.
then cool it down to 30 or even
Yeah.
lower than that. That's what I do. I
Fantastic.
didn't have any complaint. I don't do the shorter version, which
Yeah.
is 73 and 15 seconds.
Yeah.
I
That
don't do
kills
that.
too many
No,
enzymes.
no, 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 no.
Yeah.
So I do that half an hour thing. So, as long as I'm making the the feta and the
Yeah. The
halloumi.
softer cheeses.
Well,
Yeah.
nowadays I don't do halloumi because when I'm boiling it to to cook it
Yeah.
later part, Already the temperature reaches around 85 centigrade. So it kills off. So one of the microbiologists told me, you don't have to bother about it because
Yeah, which is, I think, why the Cypriots chose that style of cheese. They didn't have to pasteurize their milk because they have to put it in the boiling way,
oh
to
yes,
get it to float. So,
yes,
they didn't know that's why they did it. They did it because, that stopped half the issues they were probably getting sick and stuff like that. So it's
maybe,
amazing
yeah,
how before microbiology, was discovered, um, that all these different cheeses through the world had different processes to handle issues that they may have with raw milk. So
sure.
yeah, so halloumi is one of
You're
those
right. Yes,
examples. Yeah,
and Halloumi is one of my highest selling cheese so
it,
far. Bengali Bangladeshi palate is concerned.
right.
It's popular with both the expat community and Bangladeshi. Once you fry it, you know, without oil. I teach them just put it in a skillet without
Yeah,
any oil. It has enough fat in it.
yeah.
When you get it golden brown, it's amazingly tasty.
It is. It is. As far as I'm concerned, it's better than fried paneer, that's for sure. And
Yes,
it
yes,
has that saltiness and the squeak when you bite into it. It is just amazing. And
amazing.
when you make it with raw milk, the lactic bacteria that are present in the milk would definitely add something really special to that cheese.
Sure.
Mm. And you say that's nearly your highest selling cheese.
That's one of my highest selling
Yeah.
cheese. Every day I'm getting orders for it. And
Yeah.
there is both camembert and brie as well. But
All right.
some complain, because maybe my aging takes maybe little temperature is little higher. Or don't I still haven't been? I don't have enough in your here, so nobody tells me when to stop, and this is all trial and error.
Right.
There's sometimes I got complaint. I have got complaints like they smell a little bit of ammonia and things like that,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
happens.
But
And
that's part of the process, really.
yes,
Um,
but that's again, someone said no. I love that
yeah,
strong
exactly.
scent.
You
So
look at
why? And I had to replace that. When I
yeah,
get complaint, I usually say, okay, I'll either you adjust it with my second consignment, or I'll pay you back.
yeah,
I send it there.
yeah.
So
But some
it's
people
a
like
skill.
it. Some people like it super runny, and some people like it firmer.
I
So
love it.
what can you do? Yeah,
Yes, like the paste cheese you are making. You just showed the little while ago.
yeah.
The chili brie,
Oh, the stabilized paste
the
one. Yeah,
stabilized bit. I haven't tried it, but I will have a go at it.
yeah,
Maybe that will be much palatable for others. But
yeah.
I like the gooey. I like the gooey one,
Me
like runny
too,
ones.
but
It's a,
my wife Kim, she doesn't like it when it's runny. She likes the stabilized
the
paste version. So
I see.
what can you do? You'll have a market for both, really.
Right.
Yeah. So uh, now I think we've nearly answered all the questions, Tutu. And what is it? It's only 10 past 6. We've got another 20 minutes to go. So have you got anything else you would like to talk about on some of the challenges and issues that you've had during, starting up this practice? And do you think, here's a question for you, do you think it'll be profitable in the near future for you?
It will be profitable, provided people like me, those who don't understand marketing, will make cheese, and
Yeah,
marketing people joining together
yeah,
and make out a strategy how to sell.
yeah.
Only then it will succeed.
Is there
That's
any,
what my
yeah, is there any
that
sort of consortium, like the Italians love a good consortium? You don't have
no,
anything like
not
that
no no
there?
no.
You,
We
you'll have
have
to start
access.
one.
We have the dairy farms now.
Yeah,
They bring in like Brahmi species or something like from America. It's a
Right.
very big bull and things like that.
Brahman
They
bull?
do the Brahman bull,
Yeah.
and that is they bring in here for meat production.
Right. So not for dairy.
So
Or
not
for
for
meat.
dairy.
Yeah.
So everybody thinks that that is more profitable than having a dairy.
But dairy farming is profitable if you can upscale, not upscale, if you can convert the milk to something else. Selling
Do
milk
something
itself,
else.
yeah, selling milk
The,
itself is not profitable.
you are very right. To value add it in a way
That's the
so
word I was
that
looking for. Value
it
add. Yeah,
becomes like
yeah,
even the sweet meat that Indian subcontinent or we make, that is also very short life.
yeah.
Maximum 2 weeks, then it goes, rancid and things
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
But if someone can be convinced, the I don't have a farm like
right. Yeah,
those who are actually producing milk, that it will be much more profitable
yeah.
if you
Because it's
convert it to
closer
a
to the source.
something,
Yeah,
and you can extend it to for 6 months or 1 year, and if you even you can sell it for a higher price.
and that's
Someone
right.
has
And
to
then,
convince that.
yeah. So you
It's
need
a,
a few
it's not
dairies
possible.
there. You'll
It's
need a
not
few
possible
dairies.
with a one-man band. I'm thinking like a one-man band.
You,
How do you do it?
you know what? I had a similar issue. How was I going to promote home cheese making and then make a living out of it? So I don't know. You just got to be persistent. I think that's what you're doing, right? You continue to make the cheese, continue to promote it, and be as persistent and in people's faces with the cheese as you can. I think that's the only way. Time is going to help and
Sure.
and help
I wish
sell it.
I wish I could convince someone. I'll start making some. I'll arrange for some training for some basic cheeses.
Yeah,
If I can bring the interest out in young generation, and they
yeah,
can be motivated that this will pay you. This
yeah,
will be a profitable thing in long run.
yeah,
With most probably it will work, but
yeah,
not by myself alone.
yeah,
The
yeah, yeah,
government has to take initiative, or the farmers, the dairy farmers,
yeah,
those who are producing milk, they have to join up together.
yeah,
Uh, the professor I was talking about from the agricultural university,
yeah.
we had a talk together. That he says that I wish you were 20 years younger. I would have taken you out and the touring Bangladesh. I say, anyway, you can do it, but
Yeah,
I can always come and I can share my experience I have gathered in last 5 years.
yeah. Definitely. So, have you thought about giving workshops to?
Not yet, not yet.
No,
No.
would
Like
you?
in YouTube also, I have never done any video.
Yeah.
So I was a little apprehensive about,
Look, I think
what I'll talk.
I think Tutu, in your situation with the experience that you've had so far, that the best way that you're going to get to promote to grow new cheesemakers in Bangladesh is for you, uh, if you're up to it, to teach others how to make
I
the
mean,
cheese. I think
that's
that's
what
the
I'm
only
thinking
way
of.
it's going to grow, right? It's the only way it's
Sure.
going to grow, unless you get passionate expats that come in there with the cheese making knowledge and either help you out or do their own thing. So
The the pandemic has have been a drawback for me.
mm,
There's a from Netherlands.
yeah,
They call it PAM. These are retired senior citizens. They
yeah,
have a organization. They come to developing countries like ours,
yeah,
where they teach. Because of pandemic,
yeah. They couldn't do it.
I
Yeah.
arranged it one for them. They couldn't do it.
Mm.
They wanted that they can do it online. I said online it will not work.
Yeah,
Actually, you
you
need
got to be
someone
in
to show
people's
them,
faces.
you,
Yeah.
in people's face, and actually they have to uh, touch the solid, milk solid,
Yeah,
and how
yeah.
it feels. The tactile sensation has to be there. Until
Yeah.
unless you touch, you will not understand what you are making. It
Yeah.
doesn't come from. It happened with me.
Mm.
I can tell you,
Yeah.
when I saw you uh, cutting the curd, and it is all looks fantastic. But
You got to do it
when the
yourself.
you have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
And a time comes when the cube size shrinks and it becomes harder. With temperature scalding, you make it the recipe becomes perfect.
Yeah, through experience on handling physically handling the curds on whether they're the right size, whether they're holding the right moisture, and all that
Yeah.
sort of look. I hear you, mate. I tell you, because when I first started making cheese, there were no YouTube channels on how to make cheese. So
No.
I went to a workshop taught by two lovely old ladies here in Victoria, and they taught me how to make cheese. So I made feta was the
Fantastic.
very first cheese that I made. And yeah, it was because I had my hands in the curd. I learnt better. I understood. And that was one of the reasons why I was teaching physical workshops as well. And that I don't know if anybody's gone on to make their own artisan cheese making business. I don't care either way. But it was I've got there's a new breed of home cheese makers that are passionate about making their own cheese at home. And like you said, when the pandemic hit, you couldn't do face to face anymore. You really had to. You had to. I was online anyway, thank goodness, and it just went from there. I just got more and more videos up. So, but yeah, people have to follow. They can't just watch a video and
Sure.
learn. They've got to then try it themselves.
Try
So
it. Sure.
yeah,
In
and
everything.
fail. You got to fail
No,
to
that's
learn.
unless you fail, it doesn't. You don't learn.
That's right. Yeah,
No,
unless if you get it perfect the first time, guaranteed the next time you do it, it's not going to be perfect.
it's not. Never, never.
And a lot of people tend to give up once they failed for a first time. But my advice and the advice of everybody that's interviewed today, including yourself, is to keep trying.
Sure.
Try again.
Sure.
Or it's um, cheese
The
making
will,
is something you got to learn, right?
the will has to be there. The
Mm,
motivation has to be there.
yeah.
The passion has to be there. Only then you will succeed.
Yes. Yes.
Otherwise,
Exactly.
otherwise, sometimes it was very, very deep me. Why can't I
Mm,
do it? I
yeah.
just tell you one simple thing. I couldn't fold the halloumi. It used to
All
break.
right. Right. So what did you do? Didn't
Then
fold it
one
in the
day
end? It
no,
happened?
I saw another secret video somewhere, most probably. It's sponsored by some UNDP or something.
Yeah.
And the lady was tying it in a small handkerchief kind of cloth.
Right.
So I tried that. It did
Uh,
fold up on its own. But I just did it 2 or 3 times. And later on, I got the idea that that correct temperature will make it that valuable. You can just fold it.
Yes. Yes.
It happens.
Yeah. I
I
fold it
just,
straight out of the hot way. And if you leave it for
yes,
any more time,
general,
it breaks.
it will not.
Yeah.
It breaks.
So yeah, and you learnt that file
So
trial and error.
it's a trial and error.
Yeah. No, mate, that's
Nobody will
fantastic.
teach you that. Nobody will teach you that
No, unless you're in Cyprus.
inside.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I'm okay.
All right.
I
Good.
told you about my ailment. It's okay. No
Mate,
problem.
fantastic.
It's
But
lovely that this lovely to take part in you inviting me and give me the opportunity to share my experiences.
mate, when
It's
I was searching for people to interview, you came straight to mind because I remember a few times we've had conversations on Facebook,
yes, I did.
and I've seen your lovely cheese that you produce for people, and I thought we've got to get an artisan cheesemaker on the stream and have a chat about the things that they've done. So, mate, before you go, do you have any words of encouragement for new cheesemakers who are thinking of making that transition from home cheesemaker to artisan cheesemaker?
It's all is there. If you are a good home cheese maker, you can extend it. Don't lose heart. And as I
Mm.
said, do it in a larger volume. Let people know. And you think about, how to. I'm not a marketing man, as I told you
Yeah.
before. And how to go about selling your stuff is, if you don't know, you take somebody else's help. I don't know. But that is a tremendous opportunity. So far,
Yeah.
the young generation in Bangladesh is concerned, I will
Yeah.
advise them. If anybody wants to contact me, or
Yeah.
to form something, it can be a group training thing, and
Yeah.
come and learn.
Yeah.
I'm willing to teach.
So your Facebook
Motivation has to be
page
there.
is
And
so, yeah. So I was going to say
uh,
that if anybody
yes, I
wanted to
have two.
contact you, it's called Cheesy Tutu, right?
Yes,
Yeah, and I
I'm
think the
Tutu.
name is
It is called, my company is called Tutu's Artisan Cheese.
right. So
And if you
people
go
look
into
that up, and if
Facebook
they're interested
or
in
in
you teaching them,
and
yeah,
give a Google search, you will also get me. Or
fantastic.
uh, www.facebook.com
Yeah,
slash cheesy tutu. That's
nice.
my that's my cheesy tutu.
Well, hopefully
Cheesy tutu,
somebody
and
takes
you'll
you up.
get.
Yeah, hopefully Tutu, somebody takes you up on your offer, and you get a
Sure,
flood of people that want to learn how to make cheese and then
sure,
take it to the next level in your country. That would be fantastic,
sure.
mate. So
Keeping my
thank
finger
you.
crossed.
Yes, so
Thank
do
you so
I.
much.
Hopefully,
And
hopefully this video gets out there and people learn that you're there ready to teach them that sort of skill. Mate, it's been fantastic talking to you today. Thank you so much for coming on the stream. It's
thank you
been
for
great,
having me, Gavin,
mate. No
and
problems at all, as
inviting
I
me.
said. As I said, no problems
We'll
at
be
all.
in touch, and you will still remain my guru and uh, guide me through my, and things that I don't understand, or things like that.
Mate,
It's,
no
I can't.
problem.
Sure.
Happy
Okay,
to happy to answer any questions that you've got. So just shoot them through
sure. I'll
if
do
you've
that.
got them.
And
Good
all
on you,
my
mate.
best wishes to Kim also. Hope
Thank you so
she
much, mate.
sees us.
She's probably watching still. All right. Thanks, Tutu.
Okay,
I'll see you later, mate.
okay, okay.
All
Take
right.
care.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Fantastic. So that was Tutu. And yeah, he's got a lot of passion around teaching the next generation of cheesemakers there in Bangladesh. And hopefully he achieves his goal. I wish him all the best. And yeah, he's a very passionate man about cheese. So fantastic. Thank you, Tutu, for being there today and talking to us about his challenges that he has over there in Bangladesh, in a country that doesn't have the same sort of cheese culture that well, we do here in Australia and other places. Well, thanks for listening, Curd Nerds. You'll find my cheesemaking video tutorials on YouTube, and just look for Gavin Weber or type in cheeseman.tv. You can get your cheesemaking kits, supplies and equipment over at our shop at littlegreenworkshops.com.au. If you'd like a personalised message from me, I am available to book via Cameo. Just search for Cheeseman TV. So stay tuned for the next exciting episode of the Little Green Cheese podcast. During this podcast, you heard royalty-free music by Kevin MacLeod. I played Malt Shop Bop and Call to the Dairy Cows. See you later. Bye.